The following video excerpt is taken from a recent edition of Financial Management Network, a production of SmartPros.
With us is Richard Strassberg, a partner in the New York City office of Goodwin Procter LLP, where he chairs the firm's white-collar crime and government investigations practice. Well, we've seen a sharp uptick over the past year or so in front-page headlines of insider trading prosecutions. From your perspective, Rich, does that necessarily mean that people have become greedier?
No, Becky, I don't think people have fundamentally changed. But I think what happens when we go through a tough economic time like we've just recently gone through is that you see people who are trying to do everything to get an edge, to go as close to the line as they can and sometimes go over it in trying to make money through the investment process. And you couple that with an SEC that is devoted to being very aggressive in attempting to police that line and to bring cases, and when added to a public that really wants to see action taken about what it perceives as Wall Street misdeeds, you have the perfect recipe for a real substantial uptick in enforcement actions.
I know that you were involved in the Martha Stewart case and in other famous cases in this area, Rich. So let's make sure I understand you. There's illegal insider trading, but there's legal insider trading too, isn't there?
Well, Becky, clients ask me that a lot. And what I tell them is that the controls are helpful. Especially helpful is the training and the compliance that allow employees to know that they are being monitored, allow them to know what the rules are so that it's clear what's allowed and what's not allowed. But no compliance program and no set of controls can be perfect in eliminating the potential for insider trading. So it's always out there.
And let me ask you, Rich, about a recent court decision involving the first ever derivatives trading case. The good news for your client is that the court rejected every aspect of the SEC's case and found that no securities violations had occurred, right?
That's right. We had trial for a month in the spring of 2010, and the court, in a 122-page decision, adopted our view of the facts of this case precisely, rejected the SEC's view that any insider trading had occurred, and totally vindicated our client. One of the very interesting aspects of this case was it was one of those examples, I believe, where the SEC, in seeking to be very aggressive and in seeking to placate the anger that was really out there post-credit crisis in the public, to bring a case involving credit derivatives, these things that were seen as the boogeyman that had caused the credit crisis in the popular press.
I see that you brought your crystal ball with you today, Rich, so let me ask you a couple of what-if questions. For example, when it comes to white-collar crime and government investigations, do you expect 2011 to turn out to be as hectic as 2010 was?
I think we're likely to see really more activity, more cases, more investigations from the SEC. One of the results of the fiscal crisis was additional staffing and funding to the SEC to bring more investigations. Those investigations often take substantial time. So I expect we'll see more activity in 2011 even than what we've seen in 2010.
Goodwin Procter's Richard Strassberg, thanks for bringing us up to date on the SEC.
Happy to do it.